Hello everybody and welcome back to the Chariot series for myself, Critical Rocket, and here we are with what could be called the Lost Tapes. Now, a while back when I did the Marauder series, obviously, if you go through, there's quite a list of variants of the Marauder that are virtually the same thing as the standard 3R, but for some reason, and I'm not quite sure why, Uncle Totty specifically sent numerous death threats and many hamsters to my address, all of them with messages taped to them that if I didn't do the Marauder 2R, he was going to be a sad boy. And his rage was so palpable, I thought, alright, we'll do the Marauder 2R. And by the way, literally the only difference here is it has ER PPCs instead of normal PPCs. So that's it. Mind equals blown, right? This is why I didn't do the Marauder 2R originally, was because it's literally the first thing most people would do if they were going to keep it kind of stock, but not. Let's make those weapons with minimum range not have minimum range, slightly more heat. This is it. This is the entirety of the Marauder 2R. So there's not really much change. I mean, just double heat sinks, and you want to mess around with the engine or the armor however you please. That's about it, really. Still got the AC5, still got the two medium lasers. Other than that, it's done. I mean, that's the Marauder 2R. It's a great mech. It's as good as the 3R. If you really like the base Marauder, this is it, with the slight caveat that it's better in a point-blank combat scenario. Pretty much it, to be honest. But as a more serious note, it was basically just like a working model of it in the Star League era, where ER PPC technology was much more common. Obviously, the production of such wasn't really an issue, so there were numerous Marauders that used to have this until Succession War kick off. Obviously, you lose a lot of that tech, and that's why the 3R ends up becoming the default anyway. The 2R was one of the production models as they were getting through it. Because you have to remember, the Marauder was an interesting design because it was meant to be the next sort of evolutionary step of battle mech technology in the universe. It was supposed to be the test bed, the development body for numerous new mech designs, one of those being the Night Star, as an example. All of these were supposed to usher in this new era of battle mech combat, which I think is why a number of the clan mechs kind of have the similar leg designs and the such. Although why the Marauder wasn't really one of those mechs that they sort of kept in production, given its reverence as a piece of Star League technology, I don't quite know. I guess maybe because as they went on, they did make obviously the Marauder 2C, but 2C units are not really something that Trueborn's pilots. They all have Omnimax, and the 2C is a battle mech. So I don't know. It's one of those interesting things. It's a bit like how I guess maybe the Night Star could have been a clan mech had they brought the specs with them, but they didn't. And obviously the Night Star is something that is lost to time. It's I think maybe a prototype was built, and that's about it, and then you have to get basically to the late 30s-40s, like pretty much just on or during the clan invasion, when Night Stars start becoming an active unit within the armies of the Inner Sphere. And strangely enough, it's in MechWarrior 5. I'm not quite sure what the excuse is supposed to be about why that thing is knocking about. But anyway, yeah. So the Marauder was supposed to be a bit like the Mercury was sort of the development bed for the clans for Omni technology. The Marauder was supposed to be like this new forward-thinking idea about how we're going to build battle mechs and going ahead for the Star League. But obviously, the Amaris War kicks off and all that gets ruined. But it's endured for a reason. The Marauder is definitely one of those iconic mechs, one of those designs. And yes, you could say it is down to animes, the reason for many of the classics and why they exist. Though I would argue, personally, that yes, these designs come from an anime, but the anime definitely wouldn't have had the same... I don't think it wouldn't have really kept the mech as important for many as Battletech did. Battletech made something out of these designs. They made them much cooler in a way, much more impressive, and had it just remained as it is, it would have just been one of many generic anime mecha. but BattleTech helped to really cement it in the minds of a lot of a Western populace as just like a cool piece of sci-fi weaponry, you know? The same with the Warhammer and the Archer and Rifle. There's a reason why they're also so fondly remembered. But yeah, it's pretty cool for that. The Marauder is obviously, I would always favour the Warhammer, as many of you know, but I won't discount our Marauder. It is a cool mech. The Warhammer and the Marauder are basically brothers in arms, as far as I'm concerned. Side by side, there's nothing they can't defeat. It doesn't matter how many there are, they will win. But yeah, it's always one of those cool mechs. This was the bit. Oh yeah, this is a bit the end of the round. This was a really good match, by the way, so I kept this one. This thing was tanky as fuck. MechWarrior Online, they did make the Marauder very tanky. It's a very solid design, and I would be very, very disappointed in anyone who hasn't picked up a Marauder at this point in MWO's life cycle, because it's one of the best heavies in the game. Great weapon setup, really good hitboxes. The armor is very generous, obviously, because it's 75 tons. You can, I mean, hell, you can stick a heavy Gauss rifle in this thing if you really want, and it's high-mounted ballistic, so it's good for peak sniping at medium to short range. It's just tanky as fuck. I was just running around just drawing fire at this point because, well, I've got no weapons. So plus there was one of those super helpful, you know, I'll stand way at the back of the map snipers, which just got me the night gear, which I was firing at a lot earlier in the match. You know, one of those guys who like, yeah, but look, my damage is really high. Yeah, but you contributed nothing. The team lost because we lost the actual main fight. But this is the rest of the round here. Yeah, the heat on this guy. Chain fire is clearly not part of his religion. I forget his name, but oh god, you'll see later on why chainfire might have been a bit useful. But yeah. So like this was done obviously after the Atlases when I made this for the Chariot series. So it is still pretty much done. I've got one more thing left to do, and then I've got my new plan, my new MechWarrior video series, which might not be out every Monday, but I'll try and get these out as quickly as I can, depending on... It's going to depend on a number of factors, but we'll get it done. I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give away the name or any idea for this. I've like, there's still a few little test things I got to do and all the rest of it. It's MechWarrior Online focused. It will be an MWO video series. But yeah, I've got next week. I've got one more thing to do. I'm going to stream that, to be honest. It's going to be Marauder 2, a few variants of that. I thought I'd just do a Monday stream instead for that one, just to sort of round out the last mechs of the Chariot series, and then any week that I can't do this new video series will be up. I think I'll stream some MechWarrior Online in the mornings for a couple of hours, a bit like I do with BattleTech on Thursdays. So I'll probably just do some MWO streaming, and you know, just because I still want MechWarrior Online content here as long as there is MechWarrior Online going. So I don't want to just have it just stop just because the sort of this series finished pretty much. So yeah, see how Chainfire would be his friend. See this? If he just switched his large lasers to just chain. But now he keeps firing them. I mean, yeah, he gets the Jenna, but it's all the internal damage he's doing to himself. Why? Oh, and this is it, one-on-one now with the sniper. And he's powered down. Is this shutdown number 3? I thought he was dead at this point, by the way, because I don't know how this guy didn't kill him. But don't worry, because he kills himself. And there he goes. Fucking blew himself up right at the end. Nail-biter of a finish. 12-11. But a really good match overall, although I don't think my damage was anything to write home about. That was the Marauder 2R gameplay. Uncle Totty will be pleased now. It's all done and dusted. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.